What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Epic Tiki podcast. I'm Luke Soin, and my guest today came a long way to be here. It's Nick Rado.
Yeah, thank you so much. All the way from New Zealand for this particular podcast. So I appreciate you.
New Zealand.
We probably could have done it online, but
Yeah.
it's good to be in person, I think.
Right, and you came here all the way just for this.
Yes, only for this, no other reason. I'll go back tomorrow. No.
That's expensive. You're horrible at business. Like, this is not a good...
not good at math.
This doesn't pay at all. I don't know what you're doing, but...
Yeah, no, so I came across, doing some shows. I did San Francisco, did the Throckmorton Theatre last night, which is a beautiful theatre.
Yeah.
In Mill Valley. And then before that, I was in Nashville doing some stuff. I got asked to come over to do a Nateland Live showcase, which is pretty cool. So basically, all my stand-up comedy is clean. And so he kind of came over. I opened for him in New Zealand when he came down. And
Nate Bargatze,
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes. And so his management said, do you want to come over? And I said, okay. And then sort of booked this whole sort of tour around that. And so finished that last week. And then now I'm in Sacramento doing some shows this weekend. I go back Sunday.
That's crazy. Wait, so like tour, did you do a bunch of shows or you just did the showcase?
I did like a Nashville country club on the Sunday. Then I did Zanie's new material night on the Monday, and then went straight into the Nateland Live like showcase.
Okay.
Flew to San Francisco via Denver, did the Throckmorton Theatre, and then I've got some shows in Sacramento Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy. So, but it's good. It's good fun.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, that's all good stuff. Like, it's worth it because I got to go to Zanie's once and host a weekend there.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
That club is really cool.
It's great.
And it's like historic and special in America. Like, it's one of the cool, spots you want to go to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And what I'm more impressed about, and I don't know if this was there when you were there, the green room has like a full kitted out fridge, bar, beer, cider.
It's a nice green room, yeah. Tall ceiling too, taller than you'd think it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like candy for days.
Yeah.
Just everything you would need as a performer.
Yeah.
That, I don't know if it helps.
So you can get a sugar crash like 20 minutes into your set, just eat a bunch of Snickers bars.
I did notice that the headliners were not touching the stuff, but all the people doing 7 minutes was like, come on, load in their pockets.
Right. Well, I feel, the less further you are in your career, the more you're like, free food, you gotta grab it.
I think that's what it is.
I've done that before. Like, I open for my friend JR sometimes.
Yeah.
And we'll go and just, I'll grab like power bars or whatever, before I go back to my hotel room, because I'm like, I might be hungry in the morning or at 1 a.m. if I'm still awake, and there's I don't want to get room service. It's like $45,
Totally. I'm the same. Like, I'll open for people and they don't even touch the platter of grapes and things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just putting grapes in my bag going, who knows if I'll have these later.
These will be good tomorrow on the flight home.
Under my book.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's so true. The more into your career you are, the less that is a big deal.
Yeah.
But when you're starting out, man, that's all we do. Sometimes that's all you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Is the power bars and the grapes.
The chips, the snacks,
Cheetos,
What's that? Is Zanie's like the best green room snacks you've seen?
This is a great question.
Yeah, because this is fun. There's some good ones now.
The best one, I did a dry bar special in Utah, Provo, and so they had no alcohol so not even the audience members were allowed to drink.
Boo.
Yeah.
It's cool. Be Mormon. It's cool.
Be Mormon if you want, but equally, that was interesting. But what they did do is they made up for it in free stuff. So they just would have, it was literally like going into like a candy store. Like, they had anything that you wanted and big jars of it. And they would have like cups like this where you would just fill up with whatever you wanted,
like soda,
all that kind of stuff. So
they did have soda, because isn't that a bad thing for Mormons? They don't like soda? Or
that's a good question. I didn't even look at the soda. I was just I was so was so interesting for me because I came from New Zealand and I didn't really understand what it was, and I didn't even really understand what Utah was.
Oh yeah,
and the story behind it. And
you've never seen South Park?
Yeah.
That's a good way to get a primer. There's a whole episode where they go through the mythology.
Yeah.
And throughout the thing, it's so crazy. They're like, this is what they actually believe. Like the text flashes on the screen. It's pretty funny.
I should watch that. I should have watched that for research, but
yeah.
I was just going in pretty naive, and it was really eye-opening just to sort of be there. And I was like going, everyone's so nice here. Everyone like, why is everyone like trying to like befriend me and like take me into their home and stuff like that? And then I would kind of slowly but surely like in a movie, it just kind of got revealed itself, and I was like in a corner, and I was like with my, my candy going, I got to get out of here. But yeah, so that was an awesome green room. I think I probably one of the worst. I mean, the worst. I've been in so many bad green rooms. I think the worst green room I've been in was just a disabled toilet. Like that was
really.
Yeah.
And that was like the seat is the seat did the cover down and you sit on that.
Yeah. The only good thing about it is that they had a handle to help you get off the seat. And that was the only sort of like, oh, this is different. But there were 3 comics, and that was it. That was the only sort of room away from the main room.
Where was this?
This was in New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just did a gig recently in New Zealand, and we were in where they store the tables and the chairs for the gig.
Oh, yeah.
But not all of the tables and chairs were out. So there was more tables and chairs still in the storeroom. You're
just looking at how many seats are not full outside. You're like,
yeah.
Damn it.
Exactly, yeah. And so we were in there, and so when we like came out of the door and introduced each other, everyone was like, "Why are you guys in the storeroom?"
Well, because when the show's not happening, that's where you are. You're just folded up in the corner.
But we were like that. Like,
you have like spider webs on you. You're coming out of there. They turned us on. We're ready. Jokes.
Yeah. So it's funny. It's funny doing comedy, and people think, "Oh wow," because they only see the glitz on the front side, right?
Yeah.
And it's even in big shows, like in like big, huge shows. Like I've been very lucky enough to open up for really big comedians and big theaters, and like Chelsea Handler and Aziz Ansari and those kind of guys. But then when you're waiting in the wings, it's like it's kind of like ropes, and like you're sort of hiding behind a curtain.
Yep.
It's like
there's a tech guy next to you quietly with the headset.
With the headset, not now. It's real dark. It's dingy. There's no real. But then what the audience is seeing is this beautiful lights, like stage, and that's great. But the side stage is like you'd be lucky if you get a seat or a chair to sit on.
That's true. They don't like leave. I just went to Phoenix with Dr. Brady Smith, who was on this episode like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
And we went to this theater in Phoenix. It was some like off theater or something.
Yeah.
And they didn't, we were like kind of hanging out on the side a little bit because there was a green room. The green rooms are nice because it was, they do a lot of like plays and stuff. So they have like 8 green rooms. But it's
over the top for a comedian, right? Because there's got like all these light bulbs that's super like bright. It's big space.
And each room has like 5 of those because it's probably like, if there's a cast, they all need, but then we each have our own room.
Yeah.
And I'm just hosting. I'm doing like 10 minutes up front, but I get this.
Yeah.
But then when you're on the side, they don't put any chairs out and there's none sitting around. So I'm just like standing or maybe do a little squat, keep the blood in the legs, but it's just strange. Like it's hard to hang out. It's
so weird and no one really sees that.
Yeah.
And then you get off stage, like for example, that special that I did, it was filmed, hundreds of thousands of, views, all this kind of stuff. But as soon as it stopped filming, because there was no bar and there's no like afterwards,
nothing to do and hang out,
and it's just like it finishes and then you're out and it's kind of like 9:30 and then that's it, and then you're in Provo, Utah, and you're like, all right, I guess I'm going back to the hotel.
You're all amped up from doing a show and there's nothing to do.
First like kind of really big recording thing in America, and then you're just like okay.
But
Yeah, it was interesting, and it is interesting. But yeah, I think that's a real, the green room scenario. But it sets up the performance. I think I felt like when I was at Zanie's, because it was a good green room, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good show.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, there's I don't know if you probably haven't been to San Jose Improv yet.
No,
but that green room is, because it's like an old theater, so the green room is kind of. You walk in and there's sort of staircases that go up on each side.
Yeah.
So if you go up the right staircase, it's upstairs to the back, kind of.
Yes.
So the green room's like all the way upstairs in the back. So if you're the host and you forget, like, or I got to get down, like you have to run.
Right.
Like one time, my friend JR has this bit where he pretends to get off stage and then he's not. Yeah. And I didn't know the first time he did it, and we were there, and I was like, fuck, and I was like running down the stairs, and then it turned out he was just messing around, and I was like. Okay.
Yeah.
But their green room is nuts. Like I took a video. I can show you later. It's like, they have like 2 dressers, and each drawer has different snacks. Yeah. So there was one that had just like, it had like gluten-free Oreos.
Okay.
And then
so they'll probably still be there if I go and do it in a year's time.
Yeah, they'll be a little stale, but they're good because they're Oreos.
Yeah, true.
They never go bad.
Yeah,
I was excited because I'm gluten free, so I was like,
"Oh,
thank you."
Okay, great, perfect. Yeah. So that's good for you.
I had a few of them. Yeah,
nice.
I think they said Felipe Esparza wanted it, so maybe he's gluten intolerant.
There we go. Maybe you should. Is that a thing that we can do? You should. That's how you should say.
Yeah.
Rather than say, "I'm a good comedian," I'm also gluten free, and you'll be like, actually. You can come on tour with me for the rest of my days.
Yeah. Yeah. You film too?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. There's not about you. And you drive? Okay, you're in.
Yeah. I would drive, yes.
Yeah.
But
Felipe, if you're watching, there's an offer there.
Actually, my friend Saul opens for him a lot, so maybe it's probably taken. But
well, there we go.
Yeah.
In New Zealand, it's the same thing. So in New Zealand, there's only one comedy club in the whole country.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's called The Classic. And there is a green room, but it's same thing. It's upstairs and it's behind the stage. So the only way to get, what is cool about it is that there's a balcony where you can watch the show, and then you can sort of like go backstage and still be in the green room, and then you can go watch comedians on the balcony and then come back around. But then the only way to get to the stage is down the stairs. Yeah. So you pass people on the stairs as they're coming up or whatever when they get off. But the problem is that the stairs are quite steep. And there's been a few comics that have done that, where they've gone, okay, thanks very much, good night, or they've finished early, or bailed on their set or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And the MCs had to kind of like quickly run down.
They should install a slide on the stairs so you can just like, shoo,
It would be better, honestly, because there's been a couple of comics that have absolutely stacked it and like fallen down the stairs. But then had to go on stage.
Their arms like this. They're like, well, everybody, thanks for coming out. It's been a great show.
But we've
got merch outside if you want to buy it. But you can sign my cast.
but all they heard was ding, 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 and then bang, and then you just hear the like limp out on stage. And then try to be professional was like, hey, how was that? Yeah. And then just trying to like cover up the eyes and stuff like that. But
everyone's tougher in New Zealand and Australia, I feel like, because you guys have rugby.
Yeah,
you guys
true.
like got the haka.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of stuff there that I feel like you've got giant spider. Do you have giant spiders in New Zealand, or is that just?
No, we don't have any poisonous snakes or spider. Well, we do have a poisonous spider, but it's very rare to
you're kind of like Hawaii.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a lot of our descendants are from Hawaii. Hawaii, I think, is where they all came down from. So
watch Moana to see how that works.
There we go. Yeah, that's it. So basically, it's a little bit tougher. The audiences are a lot tougher.
Really? Oh, they're like withholding of the laughs, or
Yeah, if you they'll start like this with the arms folded, and applause break is if you get them to go like that.
Okay.
You're killing it if you get to go.
It's an audience of my dad.
Yeah,
that's great. I would love to go perform there.
But what's good about it is it's like great. Like if once you get your head around it, and you have this sort of cognitive brain therapy of like, this is actually good, this is training, so that when you do come to like really hot crowds or good crowds, you're like, this is great.
Yeah, Zanie's must have been phenomenal for you, and the dry bar one.
Yeah,
because even if they're not drinking those dry bar specials, I feel like people are so down to laugh and like
yeah.
I mean, I've seen some of them and they always seem like a great crowd.
Yeah, it was. And even like Throckmorton last night and stuff, it was just they're there to laugh and to be there, and they're not sort of looking at you going, oh, you think you're funny.
So they start in a defensive position. They're like,
yes.
Make me laugh.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Damn.
But if you can get them, then it's great.
Okay.
But then once you got them, it's great. Like New Zealand audiences are fantastic for that. So yeah, as much as I say, they're tough, it's a good training ground.
Yeah. It reminds me of doing just bad open mics at bars, because it's not quite like that always. It's more like people are on a date or they're watching TV. So you have to be interesting or funny enough to get them to stop doing those things. Because an open mic at a bar, it's like, they're not there for that. No one ever advertises an open mic.
No.
Like the only advertisement is in the Facebook comedy group locally. That's the extent of like a poster being made, like to tell the comics to come out. There's no advertising, hey, Wednesday night, you got to come to the open mic. A bunch of idiots are going to talk about their penises.
Oh, it's so true. But what's funny is it's like that all over the world. It's like New Zealand open mics are like that. Australian open mics are like that. Hong Kong is like that. In the UK, kind of like that as well. So yeah, it's real interesting.
In the UK, it's bollocks.
Bollocks. That is bollocks. That is bollocks.
That means balls, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, is that what it means? Like, is it something else?
Yeah. Nacho,
let me know if I can take the ball away. Sometimes he gets a little crazy.
Yeah, that's all good. Hey, Nacho, you want to?
If you're just listening, which I never say, I never account for the audio only audience, but Nacho has a ball and he's crazy. Here, if you want, you can slide this closer too. But yeah, he's bothering us with his ball. He's very excited about it. Yeah, and his bollock.
His bollock. Singular bollock.
They took his real bollocks away.
Yeah.
Oh, but never have children.
I don't know if you've ever had this though before. Yeah, no. As someone who has children.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, that was super.
I have a clip of my friend Shaheen was on the podcast and he was doing the same thing. He was sneezing and then he tried to like put the mic in front of him. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Normally, people are allergic to. Maybe he's allergic to kiwis. Maybe this is it. So at Zanie's, this thing happened that was, I don't know if this has happened to you, but 10 minutes before the show happened. So bear in mind, like I'd traveled from New Zealand pretty much for this showcase. Like it was just this, the whole trip has been based around this thing. Yeah. And then 10 minutes before Nashville, big, huge thunderstorm comes.
Oh,
rain, and the power goes out.
Okay, here. Come here. Enough. Okay. Sorry.
Gonna bring it back.
Big, yeah, I know. We'll do that a couple of times, and if he keeps, I'll put it away.
That's all good. He's good. This is literally his house. So
that's true.
Yeah,
yes.
He's good. So yeah, the power went out, and all the comics were like super chill about it, and they were like, because I was in the new act green room. Because there was two shows. There was a new act night, and then in the other room which was called the lab, he was the filming, and so I was in the sort of new act night, and everyone was like going, "Oh, this is cool! Like, we'll probably get paid for not doing the show."
Oh yeah,
and so everyone was like in good spirits, and I was sitting there going, I've flown all the way from New Zealand for this
and
show.
God is telling me no.
Yeah. And it's like, no, this is and in my head I'm like, this is not how it ends. This is not how this trip ends. And
the stakes were very high.
They were so high, but also wanting to be kind of super chill because everyone else was like, no, whatever, it's no big deal.
Was there some kind of like a competition to it, or was it like just getting exposure to agents and managers?
It was that. Was like, so Nate Bargatze's like management were there, and like, quite high sort of profile people were in the room, and it was just one of those ones where it was just like, this would be a good one to perform something to, and whether if anything comes of it, and I'm not too sure, but to come all this way and for that to be the thing that kind of stops you from going to the next level is like, okay.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Yeah. But then so there was talk of people like going, what do we do? And they said, 15 minutes. That's the longest it's ever gone for, like power out. And I was like, okay, we'll wait 15. Half an hour later, it's like still not on.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm like, oh. And then they said, the staff came out and said, hey, listen, just to let you know that we've got 2 rooms here. There's about 150, 200 people in each room. So there's a lot of people for us to turn away. We're going to do the show regardless. And in my mind, I was like, that's great. I don't even care.
So in the dark, you were going to do the show?
In the dark, no microphone. And like,
that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
Did they have like floodlights or something, or just completely dark?
Yeah. So at the Edinburgh Festival, so it's funny, like when you do all these rubbish gigs throughout, I've been doing stand-up for like 20 years, and you just do these horrible gigs, these just rubbish gigs, and you think to yourself in the moment, like, why did I do this gig? Why have I done this? Like, I could have been at home, warm in my own house.
Oh yeah.
You know, instead of this miserable cold night. There's 4 people in. There's TVs up there. There's like people playing pool. No one's listening.
You got 3 drink tickets in your pocket. You can only drink 1 or 2 because you have to drive.
Absolutely. So you're this is literally losing me money.
Yeah. Have you ever tried? I think I tried this joke already, but have you ever tried to deposit a drink ticket on the Chase mobile app or a banking app? You know, it doesn't work. I signed it. I put. Yeah. I endorsed it.
Yeah.
It didn't count.
This is like, in some places that's like $8, like a legal tender.
Yeah, it should transfer. It should be something,
If you can swap like a Swiss franc at a bank, you should be able to put in like a Zanie's drink ticket.
Yeah, especially from like a reputable comedy club.
Yeah.
But also bars in the middle of nowhere that you drive to that suck. Like
I think if it's a brewery, I think surely, especially if it's a craft beer.
Yeah.
Come on, that's like 10, 11, 12 dollars depending on the brewery.
Yeah.
So
there should be some kind of organization that like standard makes a standard drink ticket like a currency. Yeah.
Like a currency.
It'd be like arcade tokens, but they're all the same,
There should be. If you can get like air points and air dollars.
Yeah.
And air miles, and that's worth some money. Surely they'll be able to put.
You can get comedy minutes.
I think so.
I have 1,000 minutes in shithole bars.
Yeah.
It's not, but it wouldn't be like diamond or gold. It would be like trash or garbage or.
Yeah. Well, it's not elite, and there's as we talked before, there's no business class. There's like a corporate environment, but there should be like a ticket kind of threshold of someone should look into that. That's a business for sure, because then we don't waste the drink tickets. But then you think about all those gigs that you've done and you think, oh, okay, why did I do this? And in my mind, in Edinburgh, I did this thing called Comedy in the Dark, and so it was like a show.
Sounds so cool.
And so the audience would be there, and you would come out, and it's just, you don't even know, they introduce your name, but they don't even know what you look like. So if you don't know, you're just going off voice.
So you can't do your I look like jokes.
It's out of the question.
Yeah.
But
that's
also
crazy.
you can.
Yeah.
Because it's funny to say those jokes because no one can see anything. Because you go, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
This guy looks like, but then you would just go, this guy looks like somebody in the dark, or whatever, and people go, oh, that's hilarious.
I'd be like, I know what you guys are thinking. Looks like a black lesbian.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. All of that stuff. All of those would hit hard.
Yeah.
Edinburgh. So I did those shows in Edinburgh when I was early on, and I was like, and I absolutely died. I didn't know how to do it because I was new to comedy. All the old pros were like doing stuff like that, where they were having fun with the I guess not genre, but environment is the best word there.
Yeah, well, like you did at my house when you did my backyard show.
Yeah,
which I will do the clip. I'm just I suck at editing, but
that's totally that was super fun. And so but now I had the experience to do that, and it become so fun. Yeah. But when I was doing it, I was just trying to do my normal jokes. Right. And I had loads of things that it just required them seeing me and and being visual, and I didn't account for that. Died a death. But because I did that in my mind, I was like, when the power was out, I was like, I got this. I know exactly what to do here. And so for me, it was like, this is exciting. It's sort of like that rubbish gig prepped me for this particular environment. And so I was like, okay, it's cool. It's going to go ahead. But then someone brought out a spot, like a torch, and it was just it was a powerful torch, and they put it up the top.
Okay.
And then they, so at least we had that.
Yeah.
So then the host went out and did about 7 or 8 minutes of just trying his best. Did really well, actually. He had some really good jokes and stuff, but then 8 minutes into like his 10-minute set, the lights came back on.
Oh, okay.
And then 9 minutes in, the microphone came on, and then everyone was like a round of applause, and it was great. But then in my mind, I was like, oh, this is still fine. This is still good.
Yeah.
I wasn't freaking out, and all that rubbish stuff prepped me for doing good in that bit. And then I could go across and get the filming done, and then that went really well as well. So... But
did you get to talk to anyone after? Like, was anyone like, "Oh my God, you're so great, we'll be in touch"? Or
yeah, it was that. I got to chat to a whole bunch of people, which was fantastic. Yeah, nice. So it went really well, and
that's cool.
I'm thinking potentially maybe because I think they said, "Have you got more stuff? Can you send us more stuff?" I think I might send them your clip your bit that you sent me of your backyard.
Oh yeah. You have it saved, right?
Yeah, I've got it saved. Yeah, cool. yeah. So I've got the longer version. I might go because they said we don't want any filmed stuff in terms of it's not professional because your stuff's great.
Oh, yeah.
But what I mean is it's like
produced.
of a backyard in an environment.
Yeah.
It's just one camera. This is him just doing our show.
It's almost better because it just shows how versatile, or you could do a weird show and still kill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
yeah.
But I was thinking of sending them that and a couple other bits and pieces. So yeah. So it was one of those things where it's like, this can't end like this, to be in this situation where I'm sending the main guys and girls the clips of hey, this is we can work with each other again. It was 10 minutes before the show. That was not the outcome I was expecting. So yeah, but it makes for a good story though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was thinking too. It would suck if you get up there and you're like, the power's on, everything, and then halfway through your set the power goes out again.
Oh,
that would have sucked.
That would have been But then again, I kind of think that. Oh, that's a great shot. Even if that was the case, I kind of think that it would suck. It would absolutely suck. I think purely because it's a lot for me to come out here again. Out there again. It would be fine because they would just say, "Hey, come back again." That sucks. They come back again, but it's I don't think you realize, how much of an effort this is to come back out again. But
it's expensive, and it's also just physically exhausting to do the jet lag and all that stuff. I mean, I've never been to down under, but I want to, and I'm sure it's crazy. I haven't even been to Asia or anything. The furthest I've gone is Italy.
Well, that's pretty. That's a long flight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was 13 and a half hours from Auckland to Houston.
Oh, wow.
And then it was another 3 hours to Nashville.
Oh.
So, but in a row. And I think I got off the Houston flight.
Yeah.
Went through customs, got my bag.
Yeah.
And then it was about 10 minutes, and then I got on the other flight.
Wow. So you didn't have a layover at all?
No. It was just crazy. Straight through.
Was this Joe? Did Joe book this?
No. Actually, Joe's leg has been amazing.
Oh, okay. He's got it. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Joe knows what he's doing. This was my personal, but I got in two nights before the show.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's good.
Yeah, before I had to do our show.
Yeah.
So I did the Nashville Country Club first, which was really good, but a lot of rich people at the end of a golf tournament and pickleball tournament.
Oh, so they're probably tired. They're in the sun all day. They're exhausted, drinking.
Totally. They all know each other.
It sounds like a terrible show, actually.
It was tough. It was tough. But it was kind of good because it was all right, you need to be on your game. This isn't going to be just as easy as you think it's going to be. So
yeah,
it was a good warm-up show.
Yeah. You got to, sometimes you need I don't know. I've been doing less sets lately just because I'm busy and I'm doing other things. And so last night I went to one of our local clubs, Laughs Unlimited, just do the open mic, to just because I'm going to go tomorrow to Denver And then the next day to Salt Lake City to these theaters for Dr. Brady.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to just go up cold after more than a week of no stand up.
Sometimes you just got to get up and like it's not even really about telling your jokes because you know your jokes.
Yeah.
But it's that muscle memory of like commanding the stage.
Yeah.
Getting up there in the lights, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just for your own like reference point, really.
Yeah.
But
it's like it's like jerking off. Like sometimes you just got to do it.
Sometimes you just gotta
get
have
one
I still
out.
got the gift? You know, can I still do this?
You gotta take the edge off.
Yeah. Can I do this? Or can I? Yeah, no. So Laughs Unlimited. I've never performed there, but that's is that a fun club?
Yeah, it's cool.
What's the green room like? More importantly,
the green room is better now.
Is it?
It's. I don't think the owner watches. No, it's.
Right.
It used to be. Like, you know, it's always been, it has a decent amount of room. For a while it had like couches that had holes in it, you know, it was kind of like, but that was for a while. But then during the pandemic, they redid the inside of the showroom. So it used to be this weird room where it was like a long, almost not a corridor, but it was just kind of in the corner. Like you walk in this big room and the stage was in the corner. It was like a storefront or like a theater,
right?
Like the entrance to a theater type of look.
Yeah.
And you come out of these doors from the green room, and it was cool, but we sort of had this L shape where there's like people here, and then this thing that goes back here, and there's this extra area.
Yeah.
And so it was always kind of awkward. And I think, you know, when the pandemic happened, they had time to change everything and redo the stage. So now it's in the middle of the room, and you kind of like, it's like a normal comedy club. And then, you know, people walking by, it's like there's like a middle, like a thing so people can walk across, like the servers and, you know, for the bathroom and whatever.
This seems better.
Yeah, it's much better. So, and they redid the green room. So they painted it green with a different shade. It was already green.
Yeah.
And there's not really a lot of snacks.
Okay.
They have some gum.
Okay, that's all right.
But they've got like a TV that shows the stage now.
That's great.
Yeah, that's important.
So important.
You can kind of hear everything anyways. Like I've been in the green room before where someone's bombing and we're laughing too much and the audience can hear, and that's awkward. So it's a little...
It's the same at the Classic in New Zealand. Like you can hear us chatting and like having a great time, and especially if they're bombing, it's... Sometimes in the green room though, you can just hear silence, and then you're just like, and because you don't know what's happened.
Yeah.
So you're like, what's happened? Are they okay?
Oh yeah.
And like, have they fallen over? And then all you hear is like, anyway, so
guess you guys didn't like that one. That's a new joke.
yeah. What are you? Any questions? And you're like, oh no. So yeah, but that's the worst. How small is New Zealand? Like, if you live on one end, can you drive to the Classic, or is it like if you want to do comedy and you're on the opposite end of the country, is that like a problem? Do you have to move? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, to drive like the length of the North Island, so there's 3 islands: North Island, South Island, and then they mucked up there because then below the South Island is Stewart Island. So
even Souther Island.
Yeah, really South Island.
Yeah.
So there's kind of 3 main like islands where people sort of live. There's 5 and a bit million people who live in the country.
Okay.
1.5 million live in Auckland, which is where the comedy club is.
Okay.
Comedy club. And there's only 1 million who live on the whole entire South Island. Now, to drive from the South Island, from the top to the bottom, would take you, gosh, I wouldn't even know, like maybe 13, 14, 15 hours.
Okay, so it's
drive.
Like driving to Seattle from here, maybe.
Yeah. So to go from Wellington, which is our capital city, to Auckland is like, if you just punch through, it's about 9 hours drive. So
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a long time.
So if you want to do comedy, you got to move.
You got to move to Auckland, really.
Okay.
You don't have to. They're like people who live in Wellington. There's a Wellington scene. There's a Christchurch scene. There's scenes in all the different cities, but there's no like real. There's another Christchurch. There's called Good Times Comedy Club, but they're kind of like they're not open. Well, I guess they're pretty much open as similar to the Classic. I listen. I'd go as far as saying now there's 2, and there's a third one that's opened up actually, and that's going to be opening up I think later in the year.
That's cool.
But so we're expanding. But Yeah, so it is a problem if you don't have a comedy club. But what I do and what my business partner does is I have this comedy business called Laugh Club New Zealand. And so we do pop-up shows all over the place.
So it's like a don't tell type of thing?
Kind of, yeah. So we'll do like bars or like a school hall or like a sports club or that kind of thing. But then they'll like pay us to do the show, or we'll take the tickets for the show or that kind of thing. We'll do fundraisers or that kind of situation. So, but we're like booked, when I get back, we're booked so much, so there's lots of shows, and that's how I get my stage time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, in terms of actual physical bricks and mortar, this is all we do is comedy.
Yeah. There's not a lot. Yeah.
No. Yeah. And there's no, yeah.
I'm like wondering, I mean, there seemed to be like a boom. I don't know if it's like the 80s boom where it was so crazy and there was like chuckle huts everywhere or whatever. Yeah. But it seems like it's sort of bigger again, and I'm hoping it stays that way. But I hope it doesn't like retract, because I hear people like bigger comics talking about like, oh, I can't do the theater anymore. I can't do the stadium. Like I have to move down, or I'm not. Or people are buying tickets like right before and not ahead of time, because I think it's just the what's it called? Like the excitement of going out again is over. Like we're just back to normal, There
was a thing, after COVID, there was like kind of revenge going out kind of thing. Just because like, you can't tell me to sit in here. I'm going to go out and have a great time.
Yeah. Or just, we can finally go when we're safe. Like even if you, whatever side you were on, it's like, Because I think it was called revenge travel. That's what it was. It was like as soon as we could travel, everyone was like, let's go anywhere. Let's jump on a plane. Let's go somewhere. Yeah.
But then everyone was like, we have to still pay for that.
Yeah.
The government's not giving us free money anymore. So
right.
So it's an interesting time. But I don't know. I think also, I'm not too sure here, but in New Zealand, the landlords have just really just gone with the prices of stuff.
Oh, it's like renting the spaces.
Yeah,
now.
So I think there's an issue there, and
that sucks.
Because we kind of run off like a bit like Laugh Club New Zealand. We kind of run off like an Uber model where we don't actually own any kind of bricks and mortar type thing, but you can still come to our shows. Kind of like Don't Tell. Yeah. I don't really know them too much, but yeah. I'd imagine it's very similar.
Yeah, I think they do. I mean, like the one here. Actually, the guy lives, if you go to, there's a park like 2 blocks down. If you go to the opposite corner and walk the same distance, his house is over there.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So he runs the Don't Tell here. His name's Caleb. Caleb Lush.
Yeah, great.
And they'll do like, they've done like auto body shops or the foyer, like the outdoor foyer of the Tower Theater.
Amazing.
So it's like you walk up and it's sort of this tiled area. It's actually pretty cool. I did that one. And
are they good shows though? Because they don't sound like amazing venues. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like for when you think of our comedy show, and
there's some that are not as great as others, but I think if they find the right room, it's great because they set it up right. They have lights and chairs.
Oh, so they transform it.
Yeah,
great.
So they turn it in. Yeah, they have like 100 chairs. They're like the really cheap like IKEA ones or something, and they just shove them into a car and then put them out, and they like pack the chairs close like. Like this is what I try to do is I try to create as much of a comedy club feel as possible because I know I don't have a roof, but if you keep people close together and you don't like have them too lit up, then it's like it feels more like a club and they're more likely to laugh because if people are spread out and weird, it's not good. You want them to be packed.
Your gig is still one of my favorite gigs. It was so fun.
Wow.
Yeah, that lineup.
It's been all over the world. You guys, did you hear that?
Honestly, it was so fun. It was like I tell people about it as well. Like I say, if you're ever over here, like just go. Even if you just go to it, it's such a cool experience and such a fun vibe.
I need to get better at marketing because I get like 25 people the last few shows. Like I need to ask Joe. He's always like, I'll help you, and then I just never.
No, Joe, you got to get Joe on board. He's the man. So I think because I think once it gets over to that, I think what did we have the other night? It was sold at that when we did it. It was like 40 or something like that.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was like 40, 45 probably.
I think if you can get that.
If I get that every time, I'd be happy. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be so good.
I've had 50 a couple times. That was crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that lineup was pretty amazing as well. Yeah. The lineup was amazing. It was really good because my buddy Turner Sparks was on it.
Yep.
From New York, he was visiting, and there was that guy from LA with the heart condition.
Oh yeah,
he was hilarious.
I forgot his name right now, but yeah, he was so good. Yeah, no, it was a good. It was a good show.
It was and everyone was great. Everyone like smashed it. You did such a great job as well. And yeah, anyway, but backyard comedy. Where do you get a ticket?
Whoa. Well, follow us at Corner House Comedy on Instagram.
Oh, there we go. Corner House Comedy.
The next show is June 27th, I think.
Nice.
And Keith Carey will be the headliner.
There we go.
Of Mean Boys and Roast Battle fame.
Ah.
So he's coming up from LA.
Wow.
And he's going to blink 1,000 times because he kind of does this a lot.
Okay, nice.
It's fine. I think people make fun of him for it. No one watches this. So no, I love Keith. He's great.
Yeah.
He's on the show before too. So
yeah, great.
It's exciting. Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah.
So there's like a, did you say that like there's oh, you good?
Oh yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know what time we're going to an A's game tonight.
I'm excited. This is going to be my first baseball game.
Show you some American baseball.
Yeah. I've got
at the smallest stadium in the country because they're in between stadiums right now.
Well, I feel like this is America's cricket.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of cricket.
Yeah.
So this is, yeah.
There's no wicket. Is there wickets? Is that what those sticks are?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of know a couple words. I don't really know.
You've got the pitch.
Okay.
Which is, you guys call the pitch like actually
throwing
pitching. It. We call that bowling.
Okay.
The pitch actually is the strip of that they bowl the ball onto.
Okay.
And then there's the crease, which is the line where the batters have to stay in. But you guys have that. What's that? The batter's box or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batter's box.
We've got the crease. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. And a home run is a six runs.
Like for you guys?
So if we hit it out the park on the full is 6 runs. If we hit it on the ground to the edge of the
so there's different points like where you hit it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, you have to get like the guy around the bases. That's a run.
That's one run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you might like have a game where it's 1-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas in cricket, it's like you could get 354 runs.
Oh yeah.
And then the next team's got to try and get 356 runs or 55 runs or whatever.
Is it just like each team gets one chance at offense?
That's the one form of the game. There's another. There's another one where it's called Test cricket, which is played over 5 days.
Yeah, I've heard there's like crazy long games.
It's 5 days.
That's crazy.
And then it
sounds expensive for being a fan too, like buying all the tickets and going.
Yeah.
And you might, if you go to one day, do you go to all of them or you miss it? You have to watch it on TV. Like that's weird.
Yeah, and it's and quite often it'll end in a draw.
So it's all for nothing.
So they'll play 5 days, but it's in like if you're a fan of cricket, it's the best form of cricket. Mm-hmm. It's like a chess game, because you get one team gets to bat, and the other team gets a bowl, and then once they get all out, the other team gets to bat, and then you bowl, and then you get another turn. So you get 2 turns each to bat, and you tally up the total of the runs from each innings.
Wow.
It's very confusing.
I guess it's a little bit like having a series, because a lot of times a team will go to a city and play 3 to 5 games.
I hear you.
In a row, like 3 days, like
think of it
days
like
in
that.
A row. Yeah.
But imagine then, but the winner is the one who scores the most runs over the series.
Yeah.
Right. Like they could have won the first game, but that's not the end result. The end result is if you over the 3-game series.
So you could do one game where you score like 500 points, but then the other games you score 0, but you still win.
Yeah, or lose because the other team scores more or whatever. So
yeah, well, I guess I'm saying you could score all in one game and still win if you're able to keep them from scoring in the other games.
Yes.
So you lost everything except the one game, but it had enough points to win.
Oh yeah, I hear you. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you didn't have to win all 3. You know, to But
interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not too sure if I'll watch it, but it's But that's great. But so I'm excited to go to the baseball.
Yeah.
I'm sure me calling it the baseball is not the correct way to say it. I sound like a grandparent, but
that's a grandparent, yeah. Yeah.
Like the internet or something.
Right. Well, people call it the internet. That's not too...
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we have some time. Do you want to do...
Should we do some...
Write some jokes?
Yes, please.
It's a good time. Do you want to go first? If you got something?
Oh yeah, right. Okay. So what stuff? Like, do you like what kind of like just like short stuff or?
I mean, kind of whatever. If you have something, we can do a couple.
Okay.
Each. We're at like 45 minutes, so I usually go about an hour or a little over.
All right. So let me go into my new jokes section.
Is it? Yeah. If you have something that's not working, or you just kind of like it, or you want to add to it, like that's cool. Or even something that's working and just you don't really need help, but maybe something comes up and then you get a new.
Just do a bit for you guys. No, yeah. So I've got this bit that I'm working on at the moment, which is so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like make it funnier. So it already works.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Comedy. Make it funnier.
Yeah.
Make it good.
And I'll just, it's my whole career.
Yeah.
But
I have a bit where I'm trying to make people just cry.
Yeah.
That's my new thing is I'm not going for laughter. I want crying.
Okay, I like it. The Nanette style of comedy.
Yeah.
I love it. It's good. Yeah. So I'm
getting the surgery next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm gonna be trans. She's not trans, right? She's okay.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. No, I don't think so.
So insensitive. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
So the bit that I'm working on at the moment is working, but I'm just trying to like add little layers and gags to it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hide the exposition with gags, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So what it is at the moment is, so me and my wife, we were in a hotel room and we ordered some Thai food. And on the app, I wanted a green curry, but it didn't say on the menu if it came with rice or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to just order a curry with no rice because like I'm not a psychopath. And
yeah, it would just be like a sauce, right?
Yeah, like a lumpy soup.
Yeah.
You know, and we're like, this is weird. So I ordered the extra rice with it. And I ordered the extra rice with it. And then the app crashed. And I was like, oh, that sucks. Went to do it again. Did the same thing. Crashed again.
Oh, my God.
And then the third time, I did it and it went through. Fine. All good. So the bit is like... so that's kind of like the exposition of what I need to get through. So,
do you have to say all that to get to the joke on stage? Okay,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm trying to like, and so for me, I'm like, okay, I could do stuff about like ordering online, or I could do stuff about being in a hotel room with my wife, or whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's like, okay, there's a long bit. But then once I get into it, it's like, okay, this is good. So so what happens is the Uber driver texts me. I go down. And they go, green curry with rice plus, so 2 green curries with 2 rice plus 2 extra large jasmine rice. And then the Uber driver goes, that's a lot of rice.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay. And so I do all that kind of stuff. And then I go up and I ordered cutlery in the thing. I forgot to say that. I ordered cutlery because we're in the hotel. We need a cutlery. Yeah. I get up to the lift. I get about to go into the hotel room. I look in. There's no cutlery. And then I get a text going, your Uber driver's downstairs waiting for you. And I'm like, oh, he's got the cutlery. I'll go downstairs. I go downstairs. It's a completely different guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see where it's going. He's like 2 green curries with rice.
That's
2 extra rice. So this is the thing. So the bit that I'm doing at the moment, I don't have a second thing of what the Uber driver could say, which I want some help with. Like, what would be a funny thing for him to kind of say? I could just repeat
the same thing.
You
yeah,
reckon the same.
It's
thing?
a lot of rice. Yeah,
that's a lot of rice. And then I kind of could go not as much as you think, or something like or like
you have no idea. Yeah. I just wanted to add to my collection.
Yeah, some sort of like...
I've got limited edition rice upstairs.
Yeah.
Ivan just brought me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jose. Or
yeah. Thanks. That's good. So you reckon to say he says that's a lot of rice.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
I think that's funny.
Yeah, like it's just you're having the same, and you're like, is this deja vu or did I order 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like looking around for a black cat, like in the Matrix.
Yeah,
I don't know, something.
That's fun to kind of go. Is this deja vu? Is this a thing?
Yeah.
But then as
I
I
need
look
to drink
in,
more water.
yeah, yeah,
I've got a headache now.
yeah, and then you go. So then I go like, okay. I look in the thing and there's no cutlery in there, and I'm like, dude, there's no cutlery in here. And he goes, you should call the restaurant. And then as I'm like getting the phone out to call the restaurant, another Uber driver comes and says 2 green curries with rice and 2 extra rice.
Oh no.
So there's a thing he could say something there. At the moment I just say, so now me and my wife have 6 green curries, 6 rice, and 6 extra large jasmine rice. And maybe I just go, I have to agree with the Uber drivers, this is a lot of rice.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the line, right?
That's a good closer for that part. Yeah.
For that part. And
That is a lot lot of rice.
Yeah.
Especially with your delivery, it's so good.
Yeah. So I go, that's a lot of rice.
Yeah.
So I think just keep it. And then, that could fix that.
So we adopted 5 Thai families to get rid of the food. And now we have to always order 6 green curries.
Well, we
call ourselves Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Of rice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've basically had to, because another thing, so then I call the restaurant, and then they say, do you want to speak to the manager? And I go, yes, please. And then he goes, boss, it's the rice guy. And then and then I go into this bit about do you know how much, how impressive it is to, at a restaurant where every single dish apparently comes with rice, and on your first order, you are known in the whole restaurant as the rice guy. And then, so I talk about that, and then he comes on, and then this is something I want help with. I don't know what the boss could then say as he comes on. At the moment, what I say is,
Joe have an idea? Joe's off screen.
Off screen.
Sir, we're out of rice.
Oh, yes.
You bought all the rice.
Right. Because at the moment he comes on and the boss goes, Jasmine? And I go, no, it's not Jasmine. I'm the guy who did the thing. But I think maybe he goes, sir, we're out of rice. It's so funny. That's so funny. The boss comes on and goes, sir, we are out of rice. So it's like he's telling me off. Stop it. You are going to put us under thing. Okay, that's great. That's fantastic. And then the other bit is off the back of that, I go, what do I do after that? I go, oh, so you've sent the same order to us. This is ridiculous. And you've sent no cutlery. Send me a delivery driver right now. And he goes, I can't do it. You have to go through the app. And he's like, I go, well, how do I do this? And he goes, just go into the app, order the cheapest thing on the menu. And
which is rice, which they're out of.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
So I go on the app, and the only thing that's under $5 is rice.
Yeah. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But maybe I go, dude, I'm not going to order rice.
Yeah.
On your, I'm not going to go on there and order rice. And he says, sir, I've told you we're out of rice. Yeah. You're going to have to order the chicken tenders or whatever maybe that's not the funniest thing, but maybe it's me if so now I'm in a situation, the only thing to get my cutlery is the cheapest thing on the menu is rice, and they're out of it. So now I'm I've hung up, I go back upstairs, and then I say and this is another thing I need help with. Oh, you go.
Wait, I was gonna say, so then I called the Chicken Shack and I ordered 7 buckets of chicken to get 5 forks.
Oh, that's
something
good.
Like that.
That's good.
It doesn't have to be those numbers or that. But whatever restaurant fits. Just totally different genre of food.
Yes.
And then they don't have French fries now, so.
Yeah. That's good. But then the other. So I'll tell you how it ends. So then that might help. So then I go up, and my wife goes, "Where have you been?" I'm starving. Hopefully you've ordered enough food. And then I'm like, well, you're in luck. And then kind of like a magician, when they pull out all those handkerchiefs.
Yeah.
But that's me for like green curry.
Yeah.
So I've got 6 green curries and 12 rice.
You just put your arm down in your sleeve and it just green.
Yeah.
It just flows.
Yeah. It's just like green curry, just like that. And then so...
Like, do you want to... we don't have any bath bombs, but do you want to take a curry bath?
Yeah. That's good. Other things to kind of like...
Yeah, what else do you do with it?
What else do you do with it to get rid of it? Because I haven't even thought about that angle of it. Because at the moment, what I do is we sit down those hotel desks where it's just the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the desk is one chair. And we're sharing a chair and we're looking at each other in the mirror.
You have to shamefully look at yourself.
Shamefully look at myself and these containers of rice in front of us and curry. And then we're using the container lids as the plates.
We decided to build a fort.
Yeah.
With the pillows and the rice, and the blankets.
Yeah. That's fun. That's good.
We built a fort out of rice.
A fort out of rice. Because I haven't even thought about what I could do with it.
Yeah.
That's fun. And then so I'm using using the coffee teaspoon as like the serving ladle so I'm like putting curry onto the container lid.
Uh-huh.
And then the bit that I end with at the moment, which I don't know if it's the best bit, but I think it could be cool, is I spoon the rice onto my wife's like container lid plate.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, "Oh no, I'm not eating carbs."
Not eating what?
Carbs.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Carbs.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, so then I don't know what to do with that afterwards. Like at the moment, that's where it ends. But I think potentially it could be like, she gave me the cold shoulder, like she wasn't talking to me or something like that because I stuffed up the order. But maybe it didn't matter because I could mold a new, like I had Jasmine.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
like,
you create another wife named Jasmine out of jasmine rice.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Or like, I don't know. But that's where yeah. So any kind of help with anything like that, I was like, so that's the kind of the story. So that's why the exposition at the beginning, I don't mind it being so long.
Yeah.
Because there's so many like payoffs.
Yeah, it's okay
on.
and if you're doing a longer set, you could have like a moment where you kind of like bring them down, like just talk for a minute, they're invested, and then you get back to like joke,
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
But I really like saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Keep saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And then I had to agree with the Uber drivers. Only then
that is a lot of
did
rice.
I think to myself, this is a lot of rice. Yeah. And then when the boss comes on and says, "Sir, we're out of rice."
Yeah.
That's a funny line, especially with the tone of like, just stop. Please stop.
We can't keep up with your orders, sir.
Yeah. But that's the bit that I'm working on.
Yeah.
They're super helpful. Man, it's super helpful.
I hope so, yeah.
Well, it's good to also chat it through to go, oh, will this translate?
Sometimes the best bits, well, yeah, there's that. And then sometimes just when you're talking, you come up with a new line because you're just talking.
Yeah, because you have to explain it.
Yeah, like Joe and I did that with one of my bits. And then now I have like a great bit that's hilarious.
Amazing. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Great. Okay, thanks heaps. That's great. What have you got a bit that you're working on?
There's one that's like, I was trying to work on something about the tariffs.
Oh, yeah.
So like, because my girlfriend's Mexican, which is true. And so I was like, yeah, I've been charging her 25% to go out with me. It's like, okay, it's not the funniest thing. And then I go like, I renamed her pussy to the Gulf of Luke or the Gulf of America or something like that. And then one of my friends was like, you should say, and if you look on Google, they didn't change it yet, or they did change it, something like that. But then I was trying to think of like, what's a better way to do it. So last night I was kind of thinking, I didn't try it. I was doing other stuff, but I was thinking like, I just introduce it like, it's really like, I love my girlfriend. I love dating her, but like taking her out is so expensive, it's very high maintenance. She's Mexican. So everywhere we go, they charge an extra 25%.
Right.
something like that. So it's more like I'd slow play it, or like it's more inductive reasoning. I don't know if that's the right word. And then just be like, and then I had a tag that was like, and I'm not helping either because I'm Canadian, so that's another 25%.
Oh wow, so it's so expensive for us,
right? Yeah, it's like 50% more.
Yeah.
I'm not Canadian, but I'm white, so who cares?
Yeah.
I could just do like A, at the end of it.
Absolutely, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
well,
sort
you
of.
could even say your parents are Canadian or something or whatever. Like
yeah. Well, I have a bit that I start with where I'm like, "What kind of white do you think I am?" And it ends up revealing that I'm Russian.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I'm actually Russian. And I go, "Are there any Ukrainians here tonight?" And then no one says anything usually, and I'll be like, I guess we're winning.
Great. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could just say like I'm also Canadian or whatever. It doesn't matter. But
yeah.
But
I think you could then follow up with just exactly what you said. I'm not Canadian, but I'm white. So,
Yeah.
And then you just go, how about that or something? Yeah, whatever the Canadian version of that.
Yeah.
So going back to the tariff scene. So I think sometimes what I like to do is like kind of try and get to the core of like why you thought, oh, that's kind of funny, or like why, like, so talk to me through like the Mexican situation with your girlfriend and the tariffs, and like, are there any kind of conversations that you guys have had, or like, is there something like a bit more deeper than just the surface level of tariffs and Mexico?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of just surface level, but I mean,
but that's okay if it is.
It's, but like, yeah, I mean, we've talked about like, it's kind of funny sometimes that she, like on our first date, she told me like, she's actually American. Like she was born in like Arizona, but she grew up in Hermosillo in Sonora, which is a state there. So like, she's Mexican, but technically she's from America. So she's like, like not, so
but for the joke, it's kind of like she needs to, but what you could,
I mean, that doesn't have to be part of the joke. It's just like a thing that I thought was funny about her.
But I think, I hear you. I think, what is, the way that I think you should do it potentially is, it's so expensive nowadays.
Yeah.
So you go that way and then you can sort of get people on board and go, right, when you go out with your partner, first of all, they get you for this and they get you for that.
Yeah.
And then, and of course now my wife's Mexican, and of course now, because my wife's, I'm Mexican, she's Mexican. So then that's another 20, like, so you say like, so first of all, it's the gas. That's $24. You've got the XYZ. That's another $4.
Yeah.
Then my girlfriend's Mexican, so that's another 25% tariff, and therefore, and I'm Canadian, so that's another 25. Like it's before we've even sat down to eat. It's all of a sudden we're, we've got to remortgage or whatever the thing is.
Yes.
But I think,
and we adopted a Chinese daughter or son.
Go more
so
like,
it's just like, what are we even doing? Where do we move? Something like that.
I guess we're going to have to sell all of our NFTs.
Or I guess we're going to have to give back our adopted Chinese son because we don't want to spend another whatever that is now.
Yeah.
That could be the reveal. Like you don't say, and then I just say like, I reveal that we have the adopted kid.
Yes.
As in like, we're going to return it,
Totally.
We can't afford it.
We can't afford it now. What are we going to say to this adopted kid? We can't afford you.
We can't even get the full price back. He chipped a tooth, so he's broken. But, I don't know, something like that.
I think that's it. I think like, we can't afford to go out. So how are we going to afford to adopt now?
Yeah.
Because the kid is Chinese.
Yeah.
And that's 1,000%, like you could just keep going through the different things.
Yeah.
And then you could potentially go.
Yeah. My wife can't have a baby because if anything crosses that border.
Yeah.
Like her border. Her cosmic baby border.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that.
The technical. Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever had to? Now I'm just imagining there's like ICE agents around her pussy.
Yeah.
It's like a whole.
But that's fun.
Yeah,
that's a fun angle where you're not allowed, like, because there's extra vigilance around the
it's
border.
Like I don't have to wear a condom, but I have to go around a bunch of dudes in body armor.
Yeah, you're gonna have to try and find your own hole in the fence.
Yeah.
You have to try and create your own hole in the fence.
That's a real crazy dental dam.
Yeah.
It's just like a metal.
You should. That's a real fun. Like you should go down that route.
Okay.
And you've got all
like this.
you got to go in like 2:00 in the morning. You got to pay a guy to like there's a.
Can you smuggle my semen across the border?
Can you just get this? I just need this across. Yeah.
He's like, well, where is it? Well, let me real quick. Let me pull out some porn and jerk off. Get in front of him.
Yeah.
It's like I can't travel with this stuff. It's crazy.
With this stuff.
I don't know.
I feel like that's a funny angle. Like you start off with going out. Like how cost of living crisis.
Yeah.
But then it ends in a border situation because you just like this. Can't wait for them to inherit Greenland. Because it's also the
I forgot that was a thing he said.
Yeah.
He's so stupid.
Yeah.
We're gonna get. What did he say? He's gonna buy Greenland.
Gonna buy Greenland. Yeah.
That's so crazy. And it's like so random. Why do you want that one? It's like there's so many countries you could say. Also, that's the one that's all icy. We all know that from the Mighty Ducks D2.
Absolutely.
That's the joke, is that Greenland is the icy one and Iceland is the beautiful one.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. You could, I think, go down that route and then you can then you can start going into like the border, like the adoption.
Yeah.
Because that we can't afford to adopt now because that was the Chinese that's 1,000%. So now we're gonna have to go the old-fashioned way of making a baby.
Yeah.
But because the border is
they're
protection
guarding
of the border is increased and
I mean, she's Mexican. There's agents.
There's agents down there.
She doesn't have crabs, but she's got ice.
Yeah.
Or she doesn't have lice. She's got ice.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Play around with it.
Okay.
But I think that's a funny.
A
funny kind of almost like go surreal with it.
Yeah.
But there's steps to it, so people can come with you.
Yeah.
But I just love the idea that you're starting off with like, isn't it so expensive at the minute?
Yeah.
And then you're going into like a border crossing vagina joke.
Yeah.
You're like easing them into it. It's good. I think that's a funny premise.
Yeah.
There we go. There's something with tariffs in it.
Yeah. Yes. That's what I was looking for. It's just funny because I remember a couple of episodes I was like bring something up and they'd be like, cool. Like Brady. Remember Joe? Brady did this. I told him this one joke and he's like, that's great.
Yeah.
And I was like, and do you want, I don't know, like we don't have to, but it'd be nice if you tried. Like, I don't know.
Like, what about
over here trying to help you write a sperm whale joke,
that's I think that'll be fun because then you're making the baby the old-fashioned way.
I had like a messed up tag that I probably wouldn't do, but it was like, it's like, oh, we can't adopt like Chinese or whatever, but it's like definitely can't get a baby from Palestine. There's none left. It's fucked up. It's too much.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. This is a podcast only joke, but Joe's over there like, I wish you could.
Oh,
it's so funny.
It's so good. Yeah, it is.
You'd have to say it in like Mark Norman's voice to get away with it. You know,
come on,
we go to Palestine, but no babies left.
Babies left. Oh, come on, you
can pull your collar like, oh boy.
Yeah, it's just jokes, people.
That's what Palestine should just do, a thing where they're like Rodney Dangerfield. They're like, no respect at all. They keep on bombing us. No respect.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is fucked up. But I like dark jokes. I don't know. I can't help it.
Yeah, listen. But I think, I don't know, you could, if it goes well, I don't know, you can throw it in, but you'll get that, whoa, like that. But as long
I've
as
had
you're
some
okay
jokes
with it,
like that, yeah.
As long as you're okay with it.
Yeah. The Ukrainian one's kind of like that. And then I have one where I haven't done it for a little while because it had like 3 bits and I feel like the news items I was using were old. But the first part is, the idea is like, I don't like being single in my 30s because like it sounds like a weird problem to have, but all the women I meet are actually really amazing because I think they're getting out of bad relationships and then they're running into me, and I'm not like a piece of shit, but I'm a comedian. I don't know. I don't have a good line for that, but something about how I'm not as good as their exes were, or they're like put together women with jobs and they have kids and a full life and they're responsible, and I'm this comedian.
Yeah.
So the analogy I have is it's sort of like these women got into a car crash, their last relationship, right?
Yeah.
But then they get airlifted out. They think everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But they get in the helicopter and they look over and Kobe Bryant's sitting next to them. It's like, oh no,
Yeah.
So it's messed up, but it's funny.
That's funny.
I've done that in LA and I didn't die, so I'm pretty proud of myself.
There we go. Exactly. Well, if you can do it there.
Yeah.
I think that's a funny. It's a funny line to go. These put together people. They've come out of this relationship. They're strong.
Yeah.
They're independent, and then they meet me, and it's just lovely to know that something like the next guy they meet is going to be amazing, or do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't the last stop or something like that, or like, I don't know. It's
the next guy they meet will be God, because it will be God. They will crash in a helicopter.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah. Well, nice to know that the next guy they meet, that could be the one.
Yeah.
The fact that they're with, I don't know.
Yeah.
What would be yeah. It's a fun, because then would you I'd imagine they'd be almost like, it starts off well, but then they'd sort of treat you like another child almost.
Yeah, that could be something.
I don't know.
I have a joke about I like older women because they do stuff younger women won't do in bed, like check under the bed for monsters.
Yeah.
That's pretty hot,
Yeah.
So there's something, maybe I could connect that and have
do
like
my laundry and
tuck me in. Like, I want to be
like protected.
Yeah, like I like being tucked in after I know she tucked in her kids, or she's a professional tucker inner, she reads me a story,
Yeah.
I don't know, something like,
That's good.
Cause I know, I got to think of like a way to say that cause I would say like, I'm not a piece of shit, but I think people look at me, they're like, you don't look like a schlubby douche,
So I think
you look like you have your shit to get, like I dress decent, it's not like I look.
And sometimes as well, and I've done this as well, where and you got to be careful with this, because sometimes like a throwaway comment that gets like a ooh or whatever, it can kind of be a detriment to the whole entire act and who you are and things like that. And I've done that a few times, where it's like, where they think you are something and then you just do like a complete change of gear with no clutch, and it's just like, this just doesn't feel
this
right.
section doesn't work because you said that thing.
Yeah, because they know that you're playing around and things like that, and you're a jokey guy and you're a nice enough guy, but it's kind of But then when you do this left turn into this minefield of whatever, that's okay, that's fine, but it's just as long as you know that that's what is happening. But sometimes it can be detrimental, but I don't know if the joke's worth it. Like, I used to have a joke that I wrote, and I thought it was a good joke, but I didn't fit my kind of persona and character. And whenever I told it, everyone's like, "Oh, but it was a good joke." So the joke was, so have you ever had a job that you absolutely hated so much?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I was 20, 21 or whatever, I hated my job so much that you just wished that something would happen to that place of work, like a fire or some sort of terrible thing would happen to that place of work, so you just didn't have to go in.
Godzilla's foot lands on it one day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Incidentally.
So I had a job like that when I was younger, and I remember this was in 2001, and I remember...
I see where this is going.
I remember watching that plane fly into that building, and I just remember thinking to myself, oh man, wrong building.
Yeah. But I see how, you're clean guy, and it's not dirty, it's just so dark it throws off from the rest of your set.
But then the topper of that joke, then after that I go, wrong building, and then they laugh, and then I go, wrong building again.
That's so good.
I know, right? But whenever I used to tell it, people would laugh.
Yeah.
But they would go, oh, that's not who we thought you were, kind of thing. And it's just
It's so funny though.
But I did it, and I tried it for ages, and it was just like, oh, okay. And then
it sucks when you have that one and you're like, I know it's good or it should work and it just won't fit, or it doesn't work on stage or something. Like I have a 9/11 joke that I did a few times, and like once in my backyard I have a good clip of it kind of, but it just doesn't hit. It's like, it's something about, because this is true, like when I went to high school, like the first week or whatever, it was September 2001 and I was a freshman, and the joke is sort of like I was parking my bike and locking it up, and then some seniors came and like hazed me. They like grabbed me and spray painted my head with like red paint or something like that. And then I was like, what the, and then I go into my first class to my homeroom and I see on the TV the World Trade Center's on fire. And I'm like, oh wow, is it the World Trade Center's first week of high school too?
That's good.
Yeah, and it's
fun.
like, but it's so dark. Sometimes people are like, they don't like it, or it's not funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I say like, and then I went home and my mom, because it was red paint, my mom was like, what happened to you? And I was like, I don't know. One of those people fell on me from the building. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
and then it goes.
It's a little too far. Yeah. So that's mine. But
but I think again, it's like,
have you tried yours recently? Like, what's the last time?
Yeah.
It still doesn't.
No, it's just.
It didn't make it into the Dry Bar special.
No.
Those Mormons are just like.
Yeah, they're like, what the heck? But
clutching all 7 of their wives.
Yeah.
They get a bunch of group hugs in the audience.
It's a lot of. Let's get together. Let's pray.
Every row is just one family. It's like one guy, 8 wives, 47 children.
Totally.
That's why everything has to be clean there, because there's so many kids.
Well, exactly. There's so many kids, but everything sells out. But there's only 4 people turn up. For like family tickets or 4 names on the thing.
Like 4 credit cards have been used to pay for the whole show.
And it's like 100 people. This is great.
Yeah.
No, I tried it recently, but it's just one of those things. It's like, I'm going to have to, it's not my voice. It's not me. So that could be something that you're looking, like you'll get into a stage in your, comedy as well, that you might have to start looking at that. It's not maybe that the joke isn't working, but it's the fact that the persona potentially, or the on stage brand isn't quite fitting you.
Yeah.
Which is exciting, because that means you're getting into a real
like
next
I have
layer.
a voice. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. You're now beyond like just jokes for joke's sake, open mic kind of thing. This is kind of like people will come and buy tickets to see your show because.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
But you've got a brand, potentially you got to protect and things. So but also it becomes easier to write, and even though it's restrictive for me now to do this style, it's actually better, because you know what it's like having a blank page and looking at it and going jokes versus I got a joke about tariffs. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm
having
restricted.
parameters kind of keeps you.
It helps you write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Anyway, I think we've got to.
Yeah. I want to keep writing. It's fun, but we got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
We'll have you back next time you're in America.
Yeah. We can do online ones as well. So it's just good to write.
That's true.
And, it's good to get. I've got so many other bits that I'm like, this.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. But we can just talk that up at the game.
Yeah. This is gonna come out probably, the 3rd of June.
Yeah, perfect.
So.
I'll give you my socials and we can.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell them whatever you want to tell them. That's.
Oh right. So if you go to YouTube and go to Nick Rado, NickRado, like the watch, Nick Rado comedian. I've got a whole bunch of specials you can watch on there, and free. Going to be performing and filming a new special in August, a new hour of stand-up, and it's exciting. And I think I've potentially got like a Nateland Presents type 10-minute little special thing that's going to be coming out soon too. But it's all going to be on YouTube, and I'm going to have a whole little. I've taken like videos of the power cuts and all that kind of stuff, behind the scenes footage and stuff. I'm going to put that up on my YouTube channel as well. So Nick Rado comedian on YouTube, and we'll see you soon. See you at the next writing session, Luke.
Yes, Nick Rado on Instagram too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do that as much or TikTok or whatever. Google him.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Follow us, this channel, Hyper Live Podcasts, and at Epic Tiki at Luke Soyan everywhere. At Epic Tiki's sort of, you can follow that. That's where I make sketches, but I haven't been. And Hellgig Film, we're going to make a film.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's exciting.
Follow that and be involved somehow. Follow the thing and watch for updates.
Yeah.
Because we'll need help and money. We need money. If you're an independent, wealthy man or woman, I don't know why I said man. That was sexist. I'm sorry. Anyone who has money and wants to fund an independent film that's going to be so good.
Yeah.
We're rewriting it, but it's still good even the way it is right now.
Yeah.
You should help. So yeah, anyways, thanks. We'll see you later on the next episode. Goodbye.